My friends, I wanted to come on and do a reading. I wasn't here yesterday. I missed you guys, but I wanted to come on and do a reading. And I was hearing a few different things for this reading. First of all, right before I started it, I started to feel really anxious. And I was hearing someone could be apprehensive about approaching you. I was also seeing slot machines, which is bit of a different download for me. But sometimes when I talk about cognitive dissonance, I use the example of a slot machine, or when I talk about a connection where there's a lot of ups and downs or hot and cold behavior, it can create cognitive dissonance, which is kind of confusion between the heart and the head. So the way I describe it is when you're dealing with a connection that's hot and cold, inconsistent, it kind of gives the effect that a slot machine gives. So a slot machine will, every now and again, you'll get a win out of a slot machine, and it actually makes you addicted to it. So there could have been codependency here as well, especially with like hot and cold behavior. Someone who gives you just enough warmth to make you feel like there's hope that things will change, or that there's something worth investing in, and then they're cold with you. And it kind of creates this energy where you're afraid. Like, think about a slot machine. A slot machine will give you so many wins because it wants you to stay there. But then you get this feeling within you that if you walk away from it, whoever comes and sits down next is going to hit the jackpot. And you could have felt that way about this connection. You could have felt like if you walked away, the next person that this person dated, they would get the jackpot, or they would get a consistent version of them. My nose is running, so you might be dealing with a runner, inconsistency, hot and cold behavior. Makes sense. Also, before I started this reading, I've been finding random playing cards. Last week or on the weekend when I did those readings, I had found 2 random playing cards on different days. And then this morning I found one. And what's weird is that I have this deck packed away for my trip for my kids to play with. So this morning I came across a playing card, and it's a Nightmare Before Christmas playing card. So Jack and Sally, or that movie, could be symbolic. The name's Jack and Sally. I was also hearing I Miss You by Blink-182. But it's the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is about standing in your truth. It's about putting up boundaries, not accepting less than you deserve. So you could have put up boundaries with this person, especially if there was inconsistency in hot and cold behavior. The Queen of Swords also has, an energy where there needs to be an honest, authentic conversation if there's to be healing. But the other thing I'm hearing is that when someone wants to talk to the Queen of Swords, there is a bit of apprehensiveness. So this person could be intimidated or apprehensive about approaching you right now. So before we get any further, because I found this card this morning interesting, I chose my Nightmare Before Christmas tarot, and the top card is the 3 of Swords. So you could be in separation with this person. All right, so I'm going to put Sally right there so I can see her. I'm just thinking of Sally in that movie, how she was so in love with Jack, and he was just so preoccupied with his own stuff and his own visions that he couldn't see it. And when she tried to warn him, or when she tried to, in the movie she was warning him about Christmas or the visions that she had, highly intuitive. Sally was highly intuitive. She saw visions. He didn't want to hear her out. And then when he went through his tower moment where he was shot out of the sky, he had a big realization about her, so that could be symbolic. But before we begin, I'm going to get charms again and letters Just 1 minute. My nose is running like crazy. Just 1 minute. So I had to go blow my nose. But when I went to do that, I was hearing the song that he sings after he's shot down out of the sky. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? So that could be what your person is going through right now. So first I'm going to choose a tarot charm for you. So let's see what comes out. Sorry for the noise. We have 2 again. So we have the Star again, that came out the other day. And we have Death. So perhaps, you know, there needed to be healing in this connection, so you had to release it. I do feel like there was an ending leading to transformation and healing for both of you. We also have this Star energy, which is a black cat, so you could be in what society sees as black cat energy. Kind of, you know, Queen of Wands energy. Aquarius, Star, and then Scorpio with Death. So clearly there was an ending here leading to a transformation and healing with the Star. So let's see what charms come out. Charms. These could be things you're seeing. How interesting. So we have the Ship's Wheel, so Wheel of Fortune energy. You could have also had to release control of this connection. Adjustments may have needed to be made here. You could have been in like cycles or patterns with this person. Maybe you were trying to control the outcome and you needed to release or surrender control over this. We have a butterfly, beautiful, healing the inner child, growth, inner healing, transformation. Death leads to transformation. Butterfly tattoo could be symbolic or even like a ship's wheel tattoo. We have an elephant. So the elephant, maybe you're dreaming about this person right now. The elephant is symbolic of overcoming obstacles. We've had the elephant card come out a few times recently. Auspicious, wise, unstoppable, overcoming obstacles. And the elephant also talks about how someone could love elephants here, but the elephant also talks about how when we're not going in the right direction, Spirit will actually place obstacles in our way to redirect us, like an ending or a separation. We have the seahorse again. Interesting. So the seahorse, I said it the other day, the seahorse is connected to lover's energy, even twin flame energy. And I know that when seahorses mate, they hold tails and swim around together. We only have one. We only have one here. But we have 2 dragonflies. So things coming to light, transformation. And we have 2. We have 2 dragonflies. So I feel like things came to light for both of you. 2 little dragonflies, and I talk about how the dragonfly spends most of its life underwater in the darkness, with no comprehension of the beauty that awaits above the surface. Maybe this is symbolic of the 2 of you both needing to awaken here and go towards the light. Whoops. I also always think it's magical when butterflies and dragonflies show up together. It's also about things coming to light, be lighthearted, change, heal with the dragonfly. We also have a coin, and I've been finding coins recently as well. And I'm thinking about that slot machine, like you keep putting a coin in the slot machine, right? Maybe you kept investing in this connection. What does this even say? Queen Elizabeth II could be symbolic. And then we have a swan, just one swan. Swan, symbolic of twin flames. The name Alex could be symbolic. Yeah, we have a swan here, so very symbolic of divine counterparts, twin flame, soul spark energy, soulmate. I'm actually going to get a couple more, but I'm just going to stir them. All right. So we have... Oh, what's this called? Is that a treble clef? I can't remember. Someone could have a tattoo of this. Music could be very symbolic for this connection. We have a horse, chariot energy. And this horse is running. You can tell this horse is running. So you could have been dealing with a runner. But also chariot energy. Never gives up. And we have a lightning bolt. And it's black. So lightning bolt shock, maybe you met this person unexpectedly, maybe there was a tower moment, maybe the elephant, there was a tower moment to rebalance the energy. It could also be that you get, we'll have to see what comes out in the cards, but this could be symbolic of sudden movement with the horse and the lightning bolt, maybe sudden action. All right, so let's get letters. All right, I'm just going to stir them up. Cover your ears. I'm just going to get a few more. All right, we have C, B, E. What was I hearing before I started this? M and V, before I even look at these. M, V, P, L, J. All right. So we have C, B, E, V, O, X, O, P, D, 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 I, L, H, H, U, X, G, W, C, S, A, M, Z. All right. So let's get some cards. So I have a few cards, or a few decks we're going to get. I wanted to start with the sunflowers. So sunflowers could be symbolic. What are you? We have trust and surrender, so perhaps you had to release that ship's wheel. Surrender to the journey. Mr. Crow's outside. We have excitement, Ace of Wands energy. And one more shuffle, contemplation, big decision, heavy thinking. So you may have a big decision to make, like if this person comes forward, especially if you're in Queen of Swords energy. It could be that this person is contemplating approaching you, but feeling apprehensive. All right, so let's cut the deck. I just got cold all of a sudden. And I'm getting chills. Communication. There's that payphone. Remember the other day I was seeing a payphone? Texting, calling, confessing, unblocking. So someone's contemplating communication, and we had that lightning bolt in the chariot. Boundaries, Queen of Swords. Spirit, you are magical. Exactly. I just saw an Orby. So someone wants to communicate with you here, but they're feeling apprehensive because you may be put at boundaries, or you're standing in your power. Maybe you had to speak up for yourself, you know? And sometimes when someone puts up boundaries, it can make the other person apprehensive about coming back to like cross those boundaries and talk to you. I'm not saying that you should allow this person to cross your boundaries. They should have respect for your boundaries, whatever those boundaries were. Maybe for some of you, you said to this person, until you heal and transform, the star in death, you can stay over there. So then that person knows your boundaries, or they need to show transformation and healing. So then they would feel apprehensive about approaching you, right? And until they are transformed and have started healing. We do have marriage, forever commitment. So you could have been married to this person, or you could have seen yourself marrying this person, but you had to stop and speak up for yourself. The other thing is, if this person was married, maybe you put up a boundary that said, I'm not going to continue to entertain this while you're still married, right? And I'm not here to judge anybody who's in that situation. I'm not condoning cheating, but I'm also not here to judge you or shame you. And a lot of twin flames, they can have societal blockages, one of those being one or both of them is married. Not all the time, but just like twin flames sometimes have an age difference or a difference of religion, sometimes marriage can be that blockage. So communication. All right. So maybe you also needed to set boundaries with yourself when it comes to communicating with this person, especially if you were chasing them. Maybe you had to set a boundary with yourself that I'm going to release control. I'm going to surrender. I'm no longer going to reach out to them first. All right, so let's see what we need to hear about this. It hit me in the nose. We have conflict, confused on how to move forward. So someone has a lot of inner conflict, confused how to come towards you. This is the one that hit me in the nose, though. Offer of loyalty. So you have someone wanting to offer you loyalty here, and maybe that's what you offered them. Maybe you were very loyal. I can't believe that hit me in the nose. Maybe this person didn't know a good thing when it was hitting them in the nose, is what I'm hearing. Records could be symbolic. That looks like a record. What do we need to know about this connection? Yeah, we have contemplation, big decision, heavy thinking. So you are heavily on someone's mind here, and you may be picking up on that. They may be popping into your head. We have trust, surrender. That could have been a big decision for you to make, you know. Sometimes the healing journey or even the twin flame journey some readers will talk about how it's almost like you are fighting against the current and you have to surrender to the flow of the current. So perhaps it was a big decision for you to surrender control of this. I'm more so hearing that's your person, though. The letter C, the letter F could be symbolic. Then we have soulmate. So you definitely have a soul connection with this person. Guidance from angels. So your angels or your spirit guides, your intuition, you know, the letter N could be symbolic. Could have told you to surrender. And I feel like right now your person is being guided to come towards you. That's why they're in this contemplation, heavy thinking. Okay. We have fire, so you could be dealing with a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, twin flame. Passionate, facing yourself, and that's what this journey is about. It's not, yes, when you come together it feels romantic and magical, but that quickly dissipates is what I'm hearing. The twin flame journey is actually about facing yourself, facing your wounding. Sometimes wounding that's laid dormant in you for a very long time, possibly since childhood. It's about taking the lessons and the triggers from this connection and elevating into a higher version of yourself, finding your soul mission. You know, union is icing on the cake. So you definitely could be dealing with the twin flame here. I mean, I'm not surprised. The seahorse, the swan. We have air and fire. So someone's thinking a lot about you here. We have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but someone's thinking about taking action towards you is what I'm hearing. My worth is not determined by how others treat me. That was an affirmation that just popped down as I was, I can only record 10 minutes at a time. That was the affirmation that popped down when that video ended and I went to hit record again. Another lesson on the twin flame journey: your worth is not determined by how your counterpart treats you. Your counterpart doesn't see your worth. You need to see your own worth. If your counterpart, deceives you, that's not about you and your worth. That's about them and what's going on with them. If they choose someone else over you, again, that's not having to do with your worth. Most of the time, if they choose, like a counterpart chooses someone else, it's because you tried to hold them accountable or you put up boundaries. Not that I'm saying that's what's going on here. I just wanted to... Anyway. So this is really interesting because we have betrayal. So this person, it says don't lie. So this person could have betrayed you in some way, or they could have been... you could have felt like you were being manipulated by this person, especially with that slot machine. Maybe your person plays the slots. Is that what you call it? I don't know. The only slots I ever played were in Mario 2. Do you guys remember that game? Like the OG Mario, like on Nintendo, Mario 2. Anyway, that could be symbolic Mario. But if this person, closed themselves off to this connection, or they betrayed you in some way, or they were giving you Seven of Swords behavior, perhaps you had to let them go. It says, let go and trust your angels. And I think that's what you did. We have redemption, redeem oneself, needing forgiveness. So this person definitely wants to redeem themselves. And think about the dragonfly. I said, and I've never gotten this with this card, but I said the dragonfly spends most of its life underwater in the darkness, and eventually it's guided intuitively to come towards the light. And we see this person emerging out of the water, wanting to redeem themselves, wanting your forgiveness for this betrayal or this Seven of Swords behavior. And then we have compromise, coming back together. So this is about compromise, end of conflict, meeting halfway. So this person, it looks like they want to communicate, come in and redeem themselves. The letter R could be symbolic. Let's just get a few more from this deck and then we'll switch decks. All right, so we have lessons learned on the bottom. So some sort of lesson has been learned, just like Jack learned his lesson in that movie. Water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have settling. So this person could have settled you could have been settling for less than you deserve here for a while before you released it and put up boundaries. This person also could have been settling after they walked away from this, or if they were married. There's a lot of societal pressure when you're married. We have action. Take action, sending a message. So this person definitely doesn't want to settle anymore. And I feel like they know, lesson learned, that you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve. 101 here in the afternoon. And we have apology. The name Brad could be symbolic. I'm sorry, forgive me, I miss us, and action. These two came out sandwiched together like this. So definitely some movement here. Remember the Chariot. There's definitely movement here. Oh, Sally, don't run away. Sally tried to go with these cards. I need to return Sally to her deck. Otherwise, that's going to be an interesting game of Go Fish. It's so funny because today when I was working out, I was thinking about Nightmare Before Christmas. I get a lot of downloads when I'm working out. And I think that's because when you work out, it helps your root chakra, which is helps ground you. I get a lot of downloads when I'm working out. And I was thinking about specifically this deck and about how, oh, I should grab that to do a tarot reading with sometime because I can read these as tarot. But it was so weird that it was like an hour later, I found this card. And in a place where I normally don't go near. Anyway. All right. So I rarely use this deck. It's got a dream catcher on it. I rarely use this deck. I felt called to get a few cards from it for this reading. We have anger, bitterness, resentment, feelings not figured out. So you could have been dealing with someone where there was a lot of triggers, where there was a lot of self-sabotage. You could have been dealing with someone. Oftentimes what happens is when someone's wounds are being poked, triggered, especially like I'm hearing masculine, divine masculine energy, they can respond from a place of anger and resentment. This person could be short, or you could be short, or Dachshunds could be symbolic. We have isolating, staying away, alone time, emotionally low. Brown eyes could be symbolic. So this person, it's interesting because that to me looks like another card of like boundaries. Maybe your person pushed this connection away from a place of anger, from a place of being triggered. Like I said, maybe you were holding them accountable for something, because we have the energy of wanting to redeem themselves and apologize for something here. We have fire, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Maybe you have a memory of seeing somebody who works with fire, you know, like that card where they're blowing on the fire or juggling fire. All right, so let's see. We do have the past on the bottom, so this is definitely about a past person. Also, Mercury retrograde is coming. Whoa! Mercury in retrograde is coming. You've been warned. Lots of people from the past resurface during Mercury in retrograde. And I think that some people are afraid of their person coming back in Mercury in retrograde because they're afraid that just because they're coming back in Mercury in retrograde, they'll leave again. It's all about, to me, like, have you learned the lesson? Because if you've learned the lesson, you can evolve. You just don't want to repeat a past pattern or lesson. Anyway, we have, it won't happen the way that you think. And then right underneath that, we have divine masculine energy. So maybe you think this person is going to come in the same old energy, repeating a pattern, or that they're going to come in during Mercury in retrograde and be gone again. It won't happen the way that you're thinking. And I think that's a good thing. I'm hearing that's a good thing. I feel like, again, you could have fear. You could have your guard up, Queen of Swords. You could have your boundaries up, thinking, I know when this person comes back, they're probably going to be in the same energy. But we've got divine masculine energy under this. All right, so let's see what we need to hear about this connection. All right, hard work pays off, good things coming, highest points of happiness. And it's funny because we have this, I rely on my inner courage, another affirmation for you. But we have this graduate here, and I was talking about we had learned lessons on the bottom of the other deck. I have chills and goosebumps right now. So I feel like there's been an important lesson learned. Good job, you. You've graduated from some sort of lesson. And good things are coming. Hard work rewarded. We also have hazel eyes. And we have brown eyes. Could be symbolic. We have legal situation. So justice energy. Your person could work in the law field, or you do. Justice has been served. And you have to remember, justice in tarot talks about how if you've been wronged, there will be justice. So if you were wronged here, I feel like this person getting their justice. It's also about taking truth and accountability and honesty. We have winter. So December 21st to March 20th. I keep having like a little froggy in my throat. Releasing, cleansing, healing. Rebirth energy, the frog. I still have this little green frog sitting over here. Green frogs could be symbolic. There it is again. Chill out, froggy. So this could come into balance in the winter. Change, have the courage, be ready. So there's change coming here. And remember, it won't happen the way that you think. So maybe you think you know exactly how this person is going to come in, or maybe you think that they're not going to come in. And we have glasses. So you could be dealing with someone who wears glasses. But this is also about, they could be very good at what they do. But this is also about looking at it from a different perspective. It's about new perspectives, seeing things more clearly. And I keep hearing that song that Jack sings, "What have I done? What have I done?" But your hard work paying off here. Let's get a few more. One more. We have ending a cycle, wrapping up loose ends, wanting closure. So you've definitely, there's some sort of cycle that's closed out here, which I'm seeing a card that talks about Mercury in retrograde and review again. So it's like once the lessons have been learned, especially in these soul contracts, once the lessons have been learned and the cycle has ended, that's when it comes up for review again. That's when the universe kind of guides you back together to see, okay, are they ready to meet on common ground? Are they ready to be together? We have the south, so the south could be symbolic. And we had north on that guidance card. So you could have been unwilling to see the truth of this situation because we have blindfolded. So maybe, you're assuming the worst right now. But you could have been unwilling to see the truth of this situation, or they were. I kept hearing they were. It could have happened kind of both of you were unwilling to see the truth. So maybe you were accepting less than you deserved. Maybe you didn't want to surrender control. But eventually maybe you took that blindfold off and put up boundaries. It also talks about spiritual awakening needed. So if you were spiritually awakened and you were dealing with someone who was not yet awake, that's another difficult difference between counterparts, is that one is awakened and one is not. And if you're awakened and they're not, it's really hard to come together on a vibrational frequency or an energetic frequency. We have beginnings, new beginnings, clarity coming, a spark, and we have within a few months. This says 2021, so 2021 could be symbolic. This actually says March 30th, 2021. So that could be symbolic. I'm also hearing 2022. All right, so let's get a couple more from this deck, and then I'm going to go to tarot. One more. We have success, hard work being rewarded again, and we have the east. So east, south, north, patience. Patience paying off here. Your patience is being rewarded. Your hard work is being rewarded. Success. Maybe your people fail forward to success. Maybe somebody has a neon sign in their home or something. You could be coming into success right now, watching you over the internet. We have this person could be looking at photos of you, watching Netflix shows that remind them of you. We have text messages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, watching you over the internet. We have chained, stuck, addicted. So it feels like this person, this came out with this. So it feels like right now they're addicted to watching you. Like they're obsessively watching you is what I'm hearing. This person could have had addictions. They could have had a gambling addiction. Think about the slot machines. All right. We have temporary, which is interesting because when I was looking at these two cards, look at this. We've got the Six of Wands as well. So if you're excelling right now, even just on like your personal social media, if you're posting that you're, doing well, I feel like this person is obsessively watching you. Now, the thing about this is that if they're obsessively watching you, spying on you, not taking action, that means they're not yet in that divine masculine energy. The divine masculine energy was one of the first cards I saw. The other card that came out with this is temporary. So I feel like this watching you from the shadows, watching you in secret, spying on you, maybe watching you from different accounts, is temporary. It won't last long before they step into that masculine energy and come in. You may even know they're watching you right now. And maybe you think, remember, it's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen. So if you're thinking they're just going to send some kind of short message over Instagram or something, for example, it's not happening the way you think. They're coming in divine masculine energy. They're temporarily kind of watching you from a distance, trying to gauge the energy, trying to see. It's almost like this person is trying to figure out if you're going to still have those boundaries up or if you even want to hear from them. Henna could be symbolic here. So I'm going to get tarot now. Actually, there's one more deck I want to get. Just because I want to. Which deck is it though? I just want to see what your person's energy is with this one. We have decisions, deciding what's next. That makes sense. Heavy contemplation. Reflecting, owning their bad habits. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. January 16th could be symbolic. August 21st. Whoops. I'm just going to shuffle that one more time. Inconsistent. They were inconsistent with you. That's what I was saying. It creates that push-pull dynamic where you kind of become stuck, chained to it, because sometimes there's warmth, sometimes there's love there. Everything I said at the beginning, right? Let's cut the deck. We have manipulation and an apology. That's good. That's really good. So this person, I am sorry for Seven of Swords behavior. You could have felt like they were manipulating you. And you know what? I have to say something. Sometimes people who come across as manipulative, I'm seeing the Magician in reverse. So some of their behaviors could have appeared manipulative. There are some people who, It's like they're underwater with their eyes closed and they don't realize they're being manipulative. And I'm not making excuses for anyone. But you could have called them out on this with that Queen of Swords. You could have called them out on their manipulative behavior. And maybe this is someone where it was, you wanted them to take accountability, but they didn't even realize what they were doing. I actually don't even know why I'm hearing that. The name Angela could be symbolic. For some reason, I'm thinking of Angela from Big Brother from last year or the year before, just popped in my head. I don't know if you know who that is. But she was manipulating everyone. And in her mind, she thought she was just a nice older lady. Like, she had no idea. She had no idea. I don't know why she just popped into my head. That was weird. It also talks about controlling. Exactly. It also talks about controlling outcomes. That's what I mean. Some people who are doing things that could be described as manipulative, it would shock them to hear someone say, do you know that you're being manipulating by doing that? One thing, controlling the outcome, wanting to control the outcome, which is something distorted feminines do. Guilty. And it's funny because sometimes the divine masculine appears like they're being manipulative and the divine feminine is trying to control the outcome, but the divine feminine or the feminine, wounded feminine, would never see that they were being manipulative. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. All right. I want to see how your person is doing. I don't know why I'm nervous. Are you nervous to see how your person is doing? How is this masculine doing? So they definitely have insecurity here. They definitely have insecurity. Look, watching you. There could have been gossip around this connection and insecurities. So they're feeling very insecure here about possibly what they're seeing online or what they're hearing. If there was outside influences in the form of gossip, this person, it could have fed their insecurities. It also could have fed their ego, is what I'm hearing, which insecurity and ego is connected in my opinion. We have that inconsistent card and decisions. So it feels like this person is trying to decide what's next. They're kind of in this waiting period. I see them kind of sitting in a waiting room, if I'm being honest. Maybe they had to go to the doctor or something. But it's almost like they're in the waiting room. Like if we think about twin flame, whatever, energetic, whatever. It's like you're in a room, awakened, elevated, and they're in the waiting room outside, waiting for their name to be called. I know that's a different download. So this person is trying to decide what's next because this card also says, where are you? So they could be wondering, like, where are you? Maybe in the past you were really consistent about trying to control the outcome. Maybe in the past you were really consistent about reaching out to this person. And now they're seeing you as like, where are you? And they know they have to make a decision deciding what's next. I feel like this person, like I said, obsessively watching you online shows that they're not yet in that divine masculine energy. They're still feeling a bit insecure. And I feel like this person knows that you want consistency, especially if you spoke your truth here. And maybe they're just wondering if they're in an energy where they can be consistent enough right now. We have cherish. You could be a same-sex couple. You don't have to be. Appreciate the small things. So right now this person is thinking about the moments with you that they cherish. They're appreciating the small moments that you had to get together. I'm having a hard time speaking. And meeting, it was fated for us to meet. So this person is also thinking about how you met. You could have met very unexpectedly. This is good. There's a bit of nostalgia here. They know they need to come in consistently. And it's almost like this person where, like, I'm looking at this, where are you? And decisions. It's like they're wondering by now, you know, this person would have reached out to me. But maybe you put up a boundary. Remember, I even heard the boundary with yourself about I'm not going to reach out to them. So they know they need to make a decision and communicate with you. Let's get a few more. They were wrong about you. They know they were wrong about you. They could have pushed you away. Oh my gosh. One more. We have future plans, long-term commitment, offer of loyalty. That's the one that hit me in the nose. Remember, it's not going to happen the way that you think. So you could think that this person, well, if they come in again, there's still going to be 1, 2, 3 on the timer or on the clock. Time, afternoon. You know what I'm trying to say. You could think that this person is going to come in the same old energy. They might shock you. They might come in offering you loyalty or offering you commitment. Like they're thinking about the future here and about long-term commitment. We also have releasing resistance. So this person could have had a fear of commitment or was resistant to commit to you. I think it was coming from an immature, insecure place. But now they're releasing resistance. I almost said resistment, which is resisting commitment. I'm making up words again. So let's see what they have here. Unlikely pair. I talked about differences, right? So maybe somebody here is married, somebody isn't. Maybe you have an age difference, different cultural backgrounds, one awakened, one not awakened. Ugh. We have passion, sexual chemistry. So they feel a lot of passion, intense passion for you. We have toxic, feminine, low vibe woman. So remember, I'm not talking about gender, but distorted feminine energy. Remember, I was talking about distorted feminine energy and about the manipulation thing. Distorted feminine energy, we both have masculine and feminine energies within us, and we're meant to balance them. So, you know, on your healing journey, you want to embody a healthy balance of divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy. Even if you don't resonate with being in the divine masculine, you still need that healthy divine masculine energy, which is knowing your worth. I'm thinking of the divine masculine card I have. Releasing fixer patterns, especially when it comes to your twin. Mr. Crow just landed right outside my window. But wounded feminine energy can be about manipulation, about going around in cycles. So your person does have some lower vibrational feminine energy here. This could be within them, or it could be that they had someone around them that was trying to... Outside influences, remember? Someone who was gossiping about this connection or was jealous of this connection. And then we have divine masculine energy. So I almost feel, because we had that other divine masculine card, it won't happen the way you think. So you could think they're going to come in this energy. Again, we're not talking about gender. We're talking about the energy. You know, distorted feminine energy, closed off to their intuition, lack of self-confidence, wanting to control things, manipulation. But you could think they're going to come in like this, but I think they're going to come in like this because they have the divine masculine twice. Tuned in person. I want to confirm that divine masculine card. That divine masculine has long hair, also hazel eyes. Can we confirm the divine masculine card? All right. That's funny. So, waiting to hear from you. So this person has been waiting to hear from you. Toxic feminine energy. This person has been like, well, if it's meant to be, they'll reach out to me, or they need to reach out to me first. This person could have been, holding on to resentment or anger about whatever happened between the two of you. They could have gotten more mad that you called them out than actually looking at themselves, is what I'm hearing. But this is confirming the divine masculine, which is what I was hearing earlier, that this person, it's almost like they're waiting for, where are you? It's like making decisions. So they're waiting for you to reach out. Where is my message? Where's that chaser energy? Not that they know what chaser energy is. And I think that it's helping them evolve into this divine masculine where they know, all right, this person clearly isn't going to reach out to me. I'm going to have to step up here. Divine feminine. That's good. So the reason they're not hearing from you, I feel, is because you are in this divine feminine energy. I do not chase, I attract. It's also a good sign because they have toxic feminine, which means they're now healing their feminine energy, stepping into their masculine energy. We did not have anything about toxic masculine energy, just the feminine. Again, I'm not talking about you. These cards are for them. I got them for them. I think Mr. Crow wants me to go outside and say hello to him. Just like your person wants to hear from you. And then confirming, divine masculine, repairing, wanting to make amends. Maybe they've been waiting to hear from you so that they could apologize, Maybe to them that would be easier than to make the first move. But the divine masculine has to make the first move, is what I'm hearing. This person has to be the one to pick up that phone or head over to your house in their car or whatever and try and repair things with you. Apology, remember? All right, now we'll get tarot. I just feel like they've got to get out of this obsessively watching you and just get in their confidence and do it. Overthinking. So they could be overthinking this right now. Overthinking on the bottom. Ow. All right. So let's get tarot. So I looked at the top card, Three of Swords, Page of Swords. So definitely this person is watching you in separation. They need to stop that. We have the Five of Needles. So the Five of Needles, Five of Swords. So self-sabotage, trapped in the mind, arguments. Then we have the Emperor. And the Empress, Taurus, Libra, Aries. All right. So let's see what's going on here. We've got compromise, first card, Five of Wands in reverse. Resolution, compromise, the end of conflict is coming. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They could be feeling anxious, lacking the confidence to come towards you. Three of Pentacles and the Devil. There could have been someone who was influencing them. Gossip, remember? They could be obsessively watching you work. And we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Nine of Wands in reverse. This person could have been defensive. I mean, I was already picking up on that. That's the Nine of Cups. Nine of Wands in reverse as bottom of the deck. Stubbornness, rigidity, defensiveness, refusing compromise, giving up. That's so distorted masculine energy. They could have had a victim mindset. They could have felt like you were against them. It also says relationship failing despite one partner putting in all the work. Think about that slot machine. You could have been feeding that machine coins, investing in it all the time. You are closer than you think to a positive outcome. Perhaps you feel like you were in the middle of the woods and cannot see the finish line, but you're closer than you think to a positive outcome. Nine of Wands in reverse. What's underneath that Nine of Wands? What are you close to? Four of Cups, Ace of Swords, the Empress. So if you're not yet in divine feminine energy, you're about to be. We also have the Seven of Pentacles. So seeing the rewards of your investment. Your hard work will be rewarded. Remember those cards? Four of Cups. Something that you thought was a missed opportunity or wasn't going to happen, happens. There's a breakthrough moment coming here. Ace of Swords, communication. A breakthrough moment in your divine feminine energy. All right, let's get into it. We'll look at you first. Show me the viewer. I need lotion. Show me the viewer's energy. Show me the viewer's energy. So, we've got the Page of Presents. So you could be working on a new opportunity. You could be working on like starting a new job or starting your mission. There's growth here. Page of Pentacles. Page of Candles, Page of Wands. You could be feeling inspired to take action towards this person. Don't. You're feeling inspired to take action towards them because they're looking at their phone waiting to hear from you. But Page of Wands also shows you could be having a lot of creative downloads that right now you're thinking of starting something with. Or maybe you've just started something and you're having a lot of creative downloads. Clearly you're attracted to this person. That's really interesting. So we have the Three of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. And remember how I started this reading? Did I mention Two of Pentacles? Two of Pentacles, to me, represents cognitive dissonance, which is what I started this reading talking about. Inconsistent energy, where there's a battle between your heart and your mind. Because your heart's saying, well, sometimes they pay attention to me. And then your mind is saying, but most of the time they're cold with me. Or it's up and down, inconsistent, hot and cold. That's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of this reading. Cognitive dissonance. It's like your heart and your head are kind of going back and forth. So you could be going back and forth with, should I invest in new love? Should I invest in something new? Or should I hope that I can work things out with this person? Maybe you've met someone at work. Three of Pentacles. Maybe you've met someone at work. it looks to me like you're still hurting from this separation or from what you went through with this person. And maybe you've met someone new at work and you're wondering, like, should I just release this past person? Should I see if I can spark something up with this new person? It doesn't even have to be through work. But like, I surrender to the wisdom and the guidance of the universe. Also, the name Scott or Evan could be symbolic. How can I put this? I'm hearing two different things, so just stay with me for a minute. But if you are exploring things with something new, and you know that if your past person was to pop back into your energy, you would ditch the new person and take them back immediately, you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying that maybe you should think twice before investing in a new connection when you still hold, when that old person still has a hold over you, because essentially you'd be wronging the new person. And remember when I saw the Justice card? I did hear a reader talk about it once, like if you're exploring things with someone new, but you know you're still not over your past person and that you would dump that new person in a heartbeat if that other person came back, you can, and I'm not saying any of this to scare you. This is what my guides are telling me. But you can accumulate a little bit of bad karma by doing that, just because if you know you're not over that past person and you would take them back really quickly, it's also, okay to explore things with a new person while still trying to heal yourself. But if you are, dating someone new, but you're not over the past person and that you would leave that new person, that's that's an indication that you need to take time to heal, right? Because I used to talk about, sometimes when I used to do personal readings, I would talk about this with some of my clients about how would you feel if that new person you were dating, you were getting along with them really well. Let's forget that you have a past person. In this situation, you don't. So let's pretend you just met someone new and you have all these feelings for them and you're really excited to see how it's going. And then like a month or two into getting to know them, they call you up and they're like, oh, my ex came back and I can't do this, so it's over. How would that make you feel? You need to take into account how that would make someone else feel. For some of you, I don't even think this is your situation, but I felt called to mention it. The other thing that I'm seeing here is you could still be healing from how this person put you through this cognitive dissonance or this inconsistency, this hot and cold. Think about the person at the slot machine. It becomes an addiction. It becomes a codependency. And it takes time to heal addiction and codependency. So you could still be hurting and trying to heal from what you went through with this person. But this Three of Pentacles is making me think that you hope that you can get back on the same page. You hope that you and this person can come together. You could also be experiencing cognitive dissonance, like if you did meet someone new, but your heart still belongs to this counterpart. You could have cognitive dissonance right now, like going back and forth. Your heart could be saying, I love my past person. Your head could be saying, your past person wasn't good for you, or they didn't treat you right. Maybe you should explore this new connection. And it's really important before you make any decisions to balance your head and your heart, King or Queen of Cups, so that you're not making a decision from this painful place, but from a healed one. Even if you have to tell the new person, like, I need to take things really slowly because I'm still figuring some stuff out, or I'm still healing from something from the past. Anyway. It's like the way that I can describe this inconsistency you may have experienced in the past. It's like a jack in the box. It's like you never know what version you're going to get. Are you going to get the consistent person or the inconsistent, the hot or the cold, the nice or the deceptive, right? Think about a jack in the box. You never know when it's going to come out. I don't even know if that dating someone new will resonate with many people, but I was hearing it, so I had to say it. I want to see how you're feeling about this past person. How are you feeling about this past person? We have the Emperor. So clearly you see them as, or you feel like they're your divine masculine. We have the Sun. For some reason, I'm hearing some sort of song that talks about the stars, they shine for you. I have no idea what song that is. I can't hear it. I just heard the stars, they shine for you. And everything you do, yellow. Never mind, I found it. Clearly you see this person as your happiness, your divine masculine. You could also see this person as someone who needs healing. We have the Eight of Presents, someone that you invested in. Eight of Pentacles. Someone that you put a lot of time and energy into, someone that you were invested in, someone that you saw commitment with. But maybe they were neglecting you, I'm hearing. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like there's a big message here that if this person healed, and this person came in wanting to invest in this connection, wanting equal give and take and reciprocity and balance, none of that inconsistent crap, coming in divine masculine energy, that you would take them back or you would give them another chance. Again, I'm not saying you can't date other people. That's not what I'm saying. You can do whatever you want. But I just think about it in the terms of how would I feel if that were me? And I started seeing someone new and then they came and told me like 2 months into the relationship, oh, the love of my life came back, so bye. Think about Friends. Ross and Julie. He knew he was in love with Rachel, but he still continued to pursue things with Julie. And then the moment he found out that Rachel still had feelings for him, what did he do? He dumped Julie's butt. Ten of Pentacles. You see building a home with this person. Now I'm hearing we could have had it all, rolling in the deep. Because I feel like you do feel like you could have had it all with this person, but there was some sort of tower moment. Let's see your person's energy. All right. Okay, that's okay. Panic over. The Seven of Swords came out. And remember, I kept mentioning the Seven of Swords, but it's with the Queen of Cups and Temperance, which means they're healing it. So it's okay. So Seven of Needles, Seven of Swords. So they're currently healing their Seven of Swords behavior. They've got something weighing heavily on their conscience with this. As Good as It Gets could be symbolic. That movie just popped into my mind. They have something weighing heavily on their chest about how they denied this connection or deceived you or manipulated you. They're currently healing this. Queen of Cups, they're healing it. And Temperance, another card of healing. They could be getting counseling. And you know, I feel like this person doesn't want to deceive you again, so they're taking their time coming in. They could also be watching you from the shadows. Like they could be sneaking around your profiles or whatever. They could be younger than you. I'm just going to get, I want to confirm that Seven of Swords just to make sure, because yeah, let's confirm that Seven of Swords. I stopped shuffling because it ran out and I want to shuffle on camera, but look at that, we have the Star as I'm trying to confirm that Seven of Swords. So I do feel like they're healing that Seven of Swords behavior. And if this person had Seven of Swords behavior, it's no wonder there needed to be the Death, right? Let's confirm that Seven of Swords. Well, that's good. They are healing it. They are healing it. Ten of Cups. I also feel like this person has been lying to themselves about how they feel about you. Ten of Pentacles on the bottom. So it could have stemmed from their parents or their family. Again, I talk about this all the time. If somebody is in this energy, Seven of Swords, it can be learned behavior. It can be programmed into them from a very young age. They could have watched a parent. It's almost like we embody our parents, right? When we grow up, or we say, I never want to be like that, and we make the choices to heal. I was a person who was like, I'm never going to be like my dad. And then when my kids were like 2 and babies, I started acting a little bit like my dad. And I was like, wait a minute. I said I didn't want to be like him. I'm going to go to therapy. They're programmed into us. Some people are shut off to it, like I talked about with that manipulation card. But even though it's programmed into us and it's learned behavior, it is our responsibility to heal it. Especially once we know about it. Especially once we see it in ourselves or somebody points it out to us, it becomes our responsibility to heal that. But for example, if your person had a manipulative parent, they would have grown up with those same qualities of manipulation, unless they work to heal them. All right, let's see how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about you? How are they feeling about you? They're definitely watching you, my friend. Look, we've got the Three of Candles. We've got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, soulmate energy. Nostalgia, missing you, thinking about the good times. They could also be feeling like you triggered their childhood wounds. Maybe they're aware of this now. We have the Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh. We have the Ace of Cups. And this is, for how they feel about you. I got that image of Sally. She was so giving to him, like packing him a little picnic basket and trying to do nice things for him. And he was just like in his own arrogant little world. He didn't even see it. Four of Cups. He took her for granted. This is when he opens up that bottle she sent. This person feels like you've transformed, but this person has love for you, Ace of Cups. Look. Page of Swords, okay, watching you, wanting to get more information on you before they communicate. Eight of Wands. They have something they want to say here. They want to start a conversation with you, but right now they're kind of watching from the shadows, and that shows they're not yet confident enough to come in. And would you rather have the unconfident person who you might trigger if you say the wrong thing, or would you rather have that divine masculine energy who's going to step up and lead and be consistent with communication, right? This person wants to talk to you. Eight of Wands. Three of Wands. They want to start a relationship with you here. There's also this Three of Wands is about growth and progress and like leaving their comfort zone. So wanting to come towards you. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. That's powerful for how they feel about you. Let's see their intention. What are their intentions? We have justice. Apology, taking accountability, making things right. Speaking their truth. Look at that. Seven of Pentacles, wanting to invest in this, waiting. So their intentions are to wait for the right time, to wait until they're strong enough or confident enough or whatever to apologize. The Emperor, for their intentions. That's 3 decks, Divine Masculine Energy. And we had the Sun. Although that's how you feel about this person. Now I'm hearing Santa Claus is coming to town. Maybe this happens around Christmas. I don't know. Between Halloween and Christmas, that's what I'm going to say. They're waiting until they're ready to step up and take the lead here. And again, just because you are someone who can easily step up and take the lead, just because you are someone who can easily apologize, we're all different. Some people have a hard time apologizing. Again, I'm not here to make excuses, but like, it's not so black and white. Everybody is not the same. Human beings are complicated creatures. Twin flame connections are complicated, like a labyrinth. The 80s and 90s could be symbolic. Let's see what action this person is going to take. The 8 of Wands is already out, though. What action is this person going to take? What action is this person going to take? That's good. We have the Ace of Pentacles. This person coming in with a solid offer. 1111 could be symbolic for you. 1111 could be very symbolic for you. This person coming in with a stable offer, a stable apology is what I'm hearing. Maybe even a gift. So maybe this comes at Christmas. We've also got the 8 of Cups in reverse, which in this reading feels like a boomerang. It's someone who walked away, who realized they walked away thinking the grass is greener over there, or the grass is greener by myself, or happiness is not here. And then they go towards that, whatever they think is going to make them happy. And they're like, wait a minute, happiness isn't here. It's back there with that person. Boomerang. So we've got this person boomeranging back. Page of Potions, Page of Cups. So this person coming in with an apology, coming in with an offer of vulnerability. I don't know if they're going to pour their heart out to you right away. Ace of Pentacles, though, that is stability. They're coming towards you in a stable energy, wanting to apologize, wanting to express that they have new perspectives. Page of Cups. 9 of Cups. So this person wanting to, they're coming in a positive mindset. So like if this person feels like you were in this energy, Queen of Swords, they may come in very lighthearted, trying to keep things positive, testing the waters, seeing how you're going to receive them. We also have the Moon, which again, with these, combined with these other cards, this could be a confession. That looks like Jack pouring his heart out. So something's coming to light. The full moon could be symbolic. The full moon in November could be symbolic. They could be keeping things hidden when they come in. Keeping it like the moon. Nine of Cups, keeping things lighthearted, trying to be positive, showing you a different perspective. So maybe not the way they came in the past. Maybe before in the past they came in like wanting to argue or something. I don't know. I'm going to confirm this action. Let's confirm this action. Let's confirm this action. Okay, so I feel like this person, we've got the Two of Wands here. So they could still be King of Pentacles. This person wants to talk about the future with the Two of Wands. They're making a decision about their future. King of Pentacles. They're coming in a very like stable energy. Remember that Ace of Pentacles. But what I was hearing with the Two of Wands, it's like their intentions are to come towards you and start a relationship, and to like come towards you in that masculine, step up and take the lead energy. But what I'm seeing here is they might be testing the waters first before they admit that to you. We have Death and we have the Ace of Swords. So this person, there's the communication. They have transformed. This communication could come after Scorpio season is what I'm hearing. Just because of the way I picked up those cards. It could come after Scorpio season, which we're in Scorpio season right now. Depending on when you're watching this is a timeless reading. But I feel like this person I feel like they're coming in and they're going to, it's almost like they want to see, is this person going to tell me off? Are they even going to respond to me? And then once you respond, if you're open to communicating with them, if you're open to hearing them out, I feel like they're going to reveal to you. They're coming in a little uncertain, right? With the moon. And there's the moon. And I feel like after they see how you're responding to them, they're going to reveal that they have been transforming. They're going to communicate about this transformation. Maybe they even communicate about a death that happened while you were in separation. What is coming in the future for this connection? That's nice. We have the Wheel of Fortune, so things are changing. Page of Pentacles, fresh start, new beginning. Wheel of Fortune, adjustments being made. This is about also in love. This is about navigating changes with a partner. So the both of you coming together and navigating these changes, having a fresh start, a new chapter together. Slow and steady. That's the Four of Wands. Did you hear my kid just say, no way? 2:02. I've been here a while because didn't I look at the clock at 1:01? And we have the Six of Candles, success. Your hard work will pay off. Remember all those cards. I was seeing that when I was shuffling, but I don't know why I didn't think it would come out. It won't happen the way you think. That's future energy, my friends. Four of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. All right, I'm just going to get a few channeled messages from this person. My goodness. Channeled messages from this very large deck. What does this person want to say to you? That came out so quick. Just let's look at it. Heartbreak, the wrong choice was made and now they sit in the pain of losing you. Whatever that choice was, maybe they chose to, maybe you put up boundaries and they chose to leave. Maybe you, which was probably your fear. That's something the Divine Feminine goes through. They have a fear of setting boundaries, rooted in they think that the person will leave once they set them. That could have happened. They could have chosen someone else. They could have chose their job over you, or they just chose to be alone. Now they sit in the pain of losing you. Self-sabotage. Oh my goodness. Self-sabotage. Withholding love from you, I withheld love from myself. Self-doubt. So this person could have been just interested in having a good time with you in the past, is what I was hearing. We have isolation. I need to be alone to figure out who I am, who I want to be. Please be patient with me. So they have been sitting in isolation. Picture perfect. You are beautiful inside and out. Empress energy. I stare at your pictures all day long. And that spine card had the photo app, so they could have photos of you saved. Confused. So this person was confused. Their friends could have been adding to this confusion. They could have been in the past very inconsistent with you, like not sure if they wanted to commit to you, or if they just wanted to stay dating, or if they wanted to be friends. That's what that talks about. Am I ready for a relationship? I love the way you dress, smell, and carry yourself. It is so attractive. And I always talk about how counterparts love the smell of each other. And I'm not talking about just perfume. I'm talking about like body odor. Together, how we found each other. We are meant to be together forever and ever, for eternity. Head over heart. Heart said yes, but the mind said no. So this person maybe was too much in their head about this. Their head, their ego was blocking their heart. Let's get a few more. Okay, on the bottom we have memories. The memories we made together forever replay in my mind. Our love is immortal. Career driven. So this person could have been more career driven. That's another thing that masculines go through. Not talking about gender. Where they feel like they need to have a lot of stability, or even if they don't realize they're doing it. So this person could have been very focused on their career. Love was on the back burner until I was financially stable, money motivated. Irresistible. I cannot resist you. You are the best I've ever had. That's trying to trigger a song. You have my undivided attention. Best I've ever had. Why am I hearing gray sky morning? That's all Spirit's giving me. Best I ever had, gray sky morning. Does that mean anything to you guys? I need to go look that up. I was right. Best I ever had, gray sky morning, vertical horizon. And it's from 1999, so that could be symbolic. But I felt called to look at the lyrics and read them to you, just so if you already know the song, you can just skip ahead. So you sailed away into a gray sky morning. And that reminds me of Six of Swords energy, so you could have moved away from them. I'm not talking about physically, but maybe you released them. Now I'm here to stay. Love can be so boring. Nothing's quite the same now. I just say your name now. So this person could even be saying your name. It's not so bad. You're only the best I ever had. You don't want me back. You're the best. You're just the best I ever had. So maybe this person feels like you don't want them back. So you stole my world. Now I'm just a phony. Remembering the girl leaves me down and lonely. Send it in a letter. Make yourself feel better. But it's not so bad. You're only the best I ever had. You don't need me back. You're just the best I ever had. And it may take some time to patch me up inside, but I can't take it, so I run away and hide. And I may find in time that you were always right. You're always right. So you sailed away into a gray sky morning. Now I'm here to stay. Love can be so boring. Boring. What was it you wanted? Could it be I'm haunted? All right. So maybe go listen to that song if you feel called. Let's get the rest of these cards. All talk. I know you are tired of hearing my excuses. All talk, no action. Nourishment. You feed my mind and nourish my soul. Your energy helps keep me going. The Divine Masculine card. What's that? The fourth deck now? Divine Masculine. It is the fourth deck. Aware and awakened to the divine calling, ready to take action, protect, and provide. So they know they need to come in and protect and provide. Planning. I've been preparing a love offer for you. You will be shocked and surprised. The Black Lightning Bolt. Transformation. I'm making conscious choices to transform into my higher self to be with you. Conscious choices. Conscious choices. And there was something in that song about how this person didn't want to look at themselves, so they ran away and hid. But in time, they'll look within, is what that said. Speak up. Don't give up. I'm not letting you go, and you will hear from me very soon. Please don't give up on me. All right, my friends. So I'm going to leave it there. But as always, I am sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.